Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. When I last left you guys, we had finished up the incredibly irritating Chapter 14, and we're moving on to the incredibly long and probably even more annoying Chapter 15. This is Scorched Sand. And this is another example of what we saw with Caer Palin, in that we do not have a chance to break back to the world map between Chapter 14 and 15. We jump from one right into the next. So last time we saw the palace was on fire, or it seemed to be that it was, like, lit on fire intentionally. But thankfully we all managed to escape outside. And Princess Erika appears to be a little delirious here. And yes, so they walk outside only to get thrown into a trap, and they're surrounded, and it's going to be terrible. They might all die. How horrible. I don't know, there's just so little emotion going on right now. So we had Rouston Knights, but apparently they're not doing so hot, and there's sand everywhere, and Seth's not having a fun time with all the sand because he's on a horse. And as we all know from our textbooks from back in grade school, is that horses really don't like sand. Unless they're a camel. Anyway. So what we're doing here is Seth is telling us how the sand mechanics work. This is the same as it is in Binding Blade and in Blazing Sword. Flying units are obviously unaffected by sand. They ignore all terrain. And magic users, strangely enough, still have full movement in sand. I don't really understand how that works. But regular infantry are slowed down considerably, and horse units barely get to go through sand at all. So we will not be deploying any cavalry on this particular mission, simply because they're not going to be able to move around very well if you do. Although thankfully this one is not nearly as bad in terms of the sand content as most other sand maps are, so... And here is Riev coming here to talk to Valter because reasons. Oh, Ephraim should be arriving shortly, is that right? Well, finally Valter says something I agree with. No, not that one. Okay, here comes the Creep Valter. I mean, he never stopped being Creep Valter. He's always been Creep Valter, let's be honest. Oh, here comes Reeve's little monologue here. You wretched beast. Yeah, we're not going to get Erika anywhere near him, just because that sounds terrible. Anyway, went ahead and pre-arranged all my dudes for this map. When I said I wouldn't be bringing any cavalry, I completely lied. We are bringing Franz and we are bringing La Rochelle, simply because we don't have a really good healer other than her. We got Molder the Boulder, but he doesn't have a lot of ranged healing capabilities, and he won't be able to get around very well. We're just going to keep La Rochelle near to, I guess, our main force, so to speak. And Franz will be able to go to areas of the map that are not quite so covered in sand and help out our guys in the defensive measures. We still want Joshua. I know he's a little under-leveled compared to the rest of our party, but he's going to be important for this chapter, trust me. Same with Cormag. We definitely need him. He's a flyer. Obviously, we want Tana, again, because of flyer. And Lute is not going to be slowed down by the sand at all, and she's awesome. Ross, I don't think, is as affected by the sand as other infantry, given that he is a pirate. Don't quote me on that. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but we definitely need Rennick also, because as with any desert map, there's a ton of treasure sitting about in the sand for us to find, and rogues and thieves have a guaranteed chance to pick it up. So Rennick is going to be our treasure runner, if nothing else. He might be able to help out in combat a little bit. He's not spectacular combat-wise, but he can hold his own, I guess. At any rate, let's get into it. Rather than be the map, so we got actually two bosses on this map. You'll see that we're stuck here right outside this ruined hall, and this map it's pretty big. There's a lot of stuff going on, lots of enemies going on, and a lot of sand going on. So up here on the left we have Kalik. He is a level 12 hero. His stats are great. In fact, he's going to be a tough nut to crack, not going to lie. Probably a little bit more difficult than the likes of Carlisle, just because he's a lot tankier. He's not quite as fast, thankfully, so he'll be easier to hit. But he's slowed down by 1 by his Tomahawk, but that Silver Axe does not slow him down at all. And because of this Hoplon guard he carries, he is immune to critical hits. So that's cool. He does drop it, though, which will be nice. I wouldn't mind giving that to somebody who's got really low luck, like, oh, I don't know, Molder. And then down here on the right, we have Valter, finally. Valter is finally on the map. He's a level 13 Wyvern Knight. He's very well-rounded, apart from his luck, obviously. His strength is really, really good. He's very fast. Decent defenses. His luck is terrible, but that's fine. He comes with a spear and a killer lance. He is a problem. He's very difficult to deal with. Wyvern Knights have a skill in this game called Pierce, and that allows them to ignore basically half of your defense whenever they attack you when it triggers. I don't know what the trigger percentage is for Pierce on a Wyvern Knight, but it's gonna be troublesome. We're gonna try to engage him from outside of his range. Well, actually, here's the problem. He's got a spear, so it's kind of hard to engage him outside of his range. And because of this Philly shield that he carries, he is protected from bows. So he will not be getting effective damage from the likes of Namie or anybody like that. He's going to be a problem too. Both of these bosses are very difficult. And unfortunately, we have very little in the ways of ability to deal with them properly. That being said, we're going to do the best we can and hope we come out alive on the other side. Thankfully, there is a lot of enemies, which means a lot of experience points, and our units are going to be getting close to promotion tier here, so I gave them all promotion items. You'll see all of them are carrying the requisite item they need to promote, except Erica, because she can't promote. La Rochelle does not have one, though, simply because she's not going to reach that level this chapter anyway. But everybody else has their promotion item. They are ready to go at a moment's notice. So let's go ahead and get some stuff rolling here. There's a Berserker here that I want to try to draw out. I want to try to draw him out with a hand axe, because then I can get him to drop his Dragon Axe, which we can definitely make use of, because that will crush Valter if we can get our hands on that. I'm going to give that to Ross if I get a chance to have him drop that, and then we can just absolutely murder poor Valter with it. So let's see here. I go right here. That will draw him out. So I'm going to whip a javelin at these guys' faces. One of their faces, anyway. Hopefully this Berserker won't be able to resist a juicy Cavalier target. By all accounts, I can't imagine why he would. We'll send Tana up here too, just because she's awesome. I'm actually going to trade away Franz's javelin so he doesn't have as great a chance to get hit by that hand axe. I mean, it's not going to do a lot of damage to him anyway, considering his defense is freakishly high for a Cavalier at this point. His defense growth isn't even good. It's like 30%. Maybe even less than that. I'm not entirely certain. But his speed growth is supposed to be a lot higher than that. So he's a little lopsided right now stat-wise, and that's confusing to me. At any rate, let's go ahead and have Namie pick off this guy here. Assuming she hits him, which she does. Perfect. So there are, I think, 9 different items to pick up in the sand on this level. And getting all of them is going to be a chore, only because I don't remember where all of them are. I have a trusty little map that I can pull up that I probably will need to. I'm not going to worry about it right this minute. I have a general idea of where most of the stuff is. Let me go ahead and take this guy out. The fact that Cormag is doubling mercenaries as a Wyvern Rider is pretty darn awesome, not going to lie. Although that guy's probably weighed down by that Iron Blade. I don't think that's going to be a commonplace situation for him. Why don't we go ahead and send Garrick into the melee here so we can get some experience going too. He's mostly got really heavy stuff, which is fine because he's gigantic and can handle it. Mr. Joshua here, we're going to let him go to town on all these frail little swordsmen, since he can handle hits from a lot of them with ease. I'm going to park him right here. On this here, I guess you can call it a forest. It's technically not. Well, I guess, yeah, it is, but it's like a palm tree. I do like that they took the time to actually change some of the terrain features to match the overlying biome of the area. Like, we're in a desert. Like, these are little palm trees. They're not, like, pine tree forests kind of deal. Which I think makes a lot more sense, and I'm glad they did that. I don't think there's a lot of emphasis paid to that type of... That's what I'm looking for here. They don't put a lot of emphasis on that stuff in later games, or in earlier ones for that matter. I think I want Ross over here, don't I, for those wyverns, just in case they come calling. I'll put them over here. There's a lot of those wyverns down there. We're definitely going to want La Rochelle on hand to heal Joshua in case he starts getting hit. I'm going to want loot down this way because she can move through the sand a lot easier. We'll have Erica over here to help out in case Joshua starts getting beat on too much. And we are going to send Rennek down this way, I think. No, we'll have him go this way too. I lied, I want him up here. There's something up here that is incredibly valuable that I need to get my hands on, so we're going to go up here first. And that just leaves Tethys, who is just going to stick around and dance for people, I guess. Because what else does she do? Alright, and then Loot does not need to move. Let's just see how this goes. So this is going to be a long chapter, simply because there's a ton of enemies. There's going to be reinforcements. We're going to be, you know, settling in for the long haul here, pretty much. So expect this episode and the one that comes after to be longer. I fully expect them both to be. I would really love it if Joshua got some more strength, maybe some defense. That would be fantastic. Not going to hold my breath. He really needs to crit here, which he does, thankfully. Thankfully, because he's a little underleveled, he's getting more XP out of these guys than the rest of my team would. And because he's so bloody fast, he's going to double everybody with ease. Including other Myrmidons, which is really impressive, actually. But that'll let him get some nice, you know, valuable experience points off of all these guys, which is great. And he's actually triggering his killing edge on a reliable basis. That's pretty nice and refreshing to see. Doesn't happen anywhere near as often as you might like it to. And here we have Cormag tearing it up. Because he's just freaking awesome. He's really close to promoting too, and I would love to get him to a Wyvern Lord before the end of this chapter. And here comes that Berserker. 12% crit with a hand axe. Even if he had crit, he wouldn't even have done half my health and damage, so not super duper threatening. Alright, so now if we kill him, he'll drop that Dragon Axe, which is exactly what we want. We're going to send Franz in there to deal with him. Maybe not. Probably should have brought somebody else. Why don't we... Nope, never mind. Can anybody double this? Oh, I'm sure Tana can do it, but she's going to get shredded, unfortunately. 5% crit. I don't think he's gonna make that particular hit land. Problem is, I might not hit him either. Well, let's give it a shot, see what happens. I got one hit. Alright, I think one is going to be sufficient to bring him down with the combined efforts of everybody else here. Keep forgetting he has a long distance weapon, so we gotta be careful here. Why don't we let Nami go last? We'll just bring up Mr. Franz here. Now, Berserkers are quite fast, but I don't think the NPC ones are terribly quick. You know, I guess 10 speed's pretty darn good. And we'll have Nami pick this guy off, ideally speaking. There we are. And that'll get us the Dragon Axe that I wanted. That will be our linchpin against Valter, hopefully. Alright, strength, skill, good. Still needs more speed, but one thing at a time. Those Dragon Axes, by the way, are pretty hard to come by. They're not common at all. Now, I know you're wondering, why did I send it to the convoy? Well, I don't need it right this minute, and I can dig it out later, because I've got Erica here. So, Joshua really hasn't gotten hit yet. Do any of these guys have Sword Reavers or Sword Slayers or anything to that effect? No, they do not. So if we park Joshua here, he can go to town on the rest of these guys. Might break his killing edge, but you know what? It'll be worth it. We're actually going to send Erica down this way now. I could leave her just, you know, like right here on the base and be fine. Alright, let's get Loot some experience. Since she's not hindered by the terrain whatsoever. Almost one-shots this mercenary with an Hellfire Tome, but not quite. We need her to promote too. That'll make things so much easier, having a Sage around. Not only because she's an absolute monster glass cannon, but because she'll be able to use staves, and that will be incredibly valuable. Alright, we'll take this guy down with Mr. Garrick here, who takes nothing in retaliation because he's a tank for some reason, even though he's barely wearing any armor. I guess that's not as important. Now I gotta be careful because there's a Devil Axe Berserker here, and that thing is terrifying. And this Shaman here has another Guiding Ring that I would like to steal. It's not my highest priority. I already have like 3 Guiding Rings. I don't need another one per se, but I wouldn't mind having one simply because, well, you can sell those for a decent chunk of money if you're not going to use them. Alright, we'll send Ross this way. We'll put him on the fortress. How about that? And then we'll send Cormag in to deal with all of these chuckleheads. Simply because he just kind of eats other wyverns for breakfast. He's taking a lot of damage from them, too. I know 8 doesn't sound like a lot, but when he's taking a lot of hits at once, assuming he gets hit, actually, but his defense should be a little higher than what it is currently. I think that's what he started with, isn't it? I think maybe he started with 12 defense, but it's not much higher than his base value. So we need to fix that, hopefully. And we'll get Garrick to move down a little bit more. I didn't bother to check to make sure those guys don't have Sword Reavers or something, but I think Garrick will be fine regardless. He tends to not take a whole heck of a lot of damage. And we're going to bring Erica down here because I need access to my convoy. And we're going to let Joshua continue with his killing spree. Oh, here we go. So this is the chapter where Erica and Ephraim are reunited. As you can see here, Ephraim kind of storms in on the bottom left there. And he brought a couple people with him. We'll see who those guys are in a second. Well, never mind. There you go. Ducel and Noel. So here is General Ducel, the Obsidian himself. He has joined our side. There are a number of story reasons for that we would have gotten to see had we gone with Ephraim on his side of the quest. But because we didn't, we just have this a little bridged version. But Ducel's on our side now. And this guy is Noel. He is a shaman. I guess he used to work in the Grotto Court alongside Prince Leon, but was like imprisoned or banished or some nonsense. It's a long story. We'll get to that in a second. So now we actually get Ephraim and Ducel and Noel on the enemy phase, right before the enemy phase, so they are vulnerable to being attacked right now. And believe me, they're going to be, so... Thankfully, Garrick is able to handle himself adequately here. Oh, we got a barbarian or a brigand going for a village, but thankfully we have reinforcements now to go deal with that. Again, triggering the killing edge is very, very nice. That'll give you 15 for Joshua, I believe. Strength, good. He doesn't really need more skill and speed at this point. He's got plenty. In fact, he's very near the cap for both. So I'm not upset about him not getting either of those. I think that's his killing edge half gone now. And these wyverns are all probably going to go for Cormag, and he'll chew them up and spit them out, because that's what he does. Have I mentioned how much I love Cormag's color palette? Just that dusty gray color. It's super cool. And he retains that upon being promoted, which is nice. Yeah, he's going to easily dispatch these guys, and then put them to level, what, 18 after this next level up? Yep, there we go, and that's capping strength. Some more skills, good. Oh, jeez, really? This Shaman with the Eclipse. I don't know if I've talked about Eclipse Tome yet. It's a tome exclusive to Dark Magic. You'll see it does a decent amount of damage to him, but it only has a 5% hit rate. Eclipse, whenever it hits, will deal half your target's remaining HP and damage, always. So the only way to kill with Eclipse is if someone has 1 HP, which is annoying. But it has an abysmal hit rate. It's like 30% built in, which is just terrible. There's very little reason to ever use Eclipse, if I'm being totally honest. I personally rarely ever use it. You get like 3 or 4 of them during Blazing Sword. In fact, I'm pretty sure I had them saved in my convoy for some reason. What I liked to be able to do is, you know, hammer away at the dragon at the end of Blazing Sword and try to get him half down in one hit with that. Because half dead to the dragon is 60 damage. So if you land a good hit on him, then you're sitting pretty, but it most likely will never hit. So anyway, let's talk about our new guys. We got Ephraim back. He's exactly where he was. I lied. He looks like he's been auto-leveled once. He was at level 14. He was just shy of 15, I think, but now he's been auto-leveled up once to 15. which looks to have worked in his favor, actually. His stats have been moved around a little bit. He's got more strength. He's got one more point of strength. But yeah, this looks really good. So this is where Ephraim is at. He got auto-leveled a little bit. His HP is a little on the low side, if you ask me, but we can fix that. I've still got a... his equipment's exactly as we left it. But I still have an angelic robe I can give him to patch up his HP issues. No big deal. Here is General Dussel. He is a level 10 Great Knight. And he's pretty great. I'm not going to lie. I know it looks like he's a little on the slow side. 12 speed is not spectacular. It's not bad either, honestly. But his defense is fantastic. He's got good strength. Resistance isn't too shabby either. And 15 con. So he's not getting slowed down by anything. And he's got A rank in all 3 weapons. Comes with a silver axe and a silver lance. He's pretty great. And then finally we have Noel, a level 10 shaman. He's meh. This is actually unusual. So normally when you get Noel, he actually starts at level 9 for some reason, but then the game auto levels him once. So you get him at level 10, but he's technically been auto leveled at least once. So normally he starts with 0 luck, believe it or not. So the auto level gave him 1 point of luck, which is impressive because I think his luck growth is abysmal. So he's a Dark Mage. He comes with Flux and Nosferatu, which is the life-draining ability of Dark Mages. He's okay. I mean, he's not the best Dark Mage in the game, although you only get 2, so whatever. He actually has access to a really interesting alternate class in this game called the Summoner. And Summoners are actually pretty cool. They're a little bit niche in terms of their usefulness. They actually have the ability to create little not one use, but they create phantoms. And phantoms are expendable units. They have 1 hit point. And depending on your level of the summoner that cast the phantom, they have increased stats. They are infantry, but I think they ignore terrain for movement because they're spirits, and they have axes. So you can use them as like little, shock troops, guys that can run in and kill stuff, but if you lose them, you can just resummon them. So they're expendable, which is nice. And for some reason, between the 2 people that can become a summoner, one is clearly better than the other. They just have better phantoms. I don't know why that is. The other option, by the way, is what the heck's his name? Ewan. If you make Ewan a Dark Mage, he can promote to a summoner ultimately. By the way, the thing that I need is right here. The silver card. We did not get this in Blazing Sword. It exists in the data, but we didn't get it because there's no legal way to obtain it apart from outside mechanisms. The silver card reduces all my item costs by half in the stores. So yeah, we just got a really great, awesome discount card on everything we buy from now on. And it has to be in the possession of the person who goes to the store. So just having it like in the convoy doesn't work. If you need to pick somebody to go shopping who has the card on them, and you'll get half off everything. But that effectively means you can buy and sell gear at cost. So that's fantastic. So if you buy something on accident with silver card, just sell it back, you'll get all your money back. Because it does not remember if you got half off buying it with the silver card, it just gives you half the value of the item, even if you bought it at full price or not. Which is pretty fantastic if you ask me. I like having some extra money to spend on stuff because money is a little tight in this game. Especially when you buy a lot of equipment for people you don't use. Or, particularly if you're grinding in the tower or something and you use up a lot of weapons that way. I haven't been doing that, but a lot of people do, and that's a great way to lose yourself some money. Or at least run out of it quicker. So we're going to get Rennick out of there with Tana next turn after she pokes that guy to death. There's a chance I can grab an item in this area here. I don't think it's terribly likely, but we might as well give it a shot. We're going to make sure we stay well out of the way of that Berserker there. I don't want him coming at me with a freaking Devil Axe right now. That would be a very, very bad day. Unless he hit himself, that'd be hilarious, but... Unfortunately, the reality with the Devil Axe is that the enemy never triggers it, and whenever you use the thing, you do it every dang time. Because RNG. Tell you what, though, he has a 29% chance to hit himself with it. That's pretty funny. It scales back with luck, so the more luck you have, the less likely you are to hit yourself. But even at maximum luck, you still have a 1% chance. So there's always that feeling in the back of your mind you might hit yourself with it. Even if it's highly unlikely, it is possible. Why don't we send Loot over here, and she can pick off this Merc. as well as maybe that Dark Mage. Although I'm trying to bait the Dark Mage out with Ephraim so that he can kill him. It occurred to me that Ephraim does not have a ranged weapon. He only has his Regan Life and a couple of Steel Lances, so he might get hit by that Dark Mage, but that's not going to be a huge problem for him. Alright, we're going to send Naomi down this way to help with the flying issue. And we'll send Franz over here to support Mr. Joshua in the event that he needs it. And we're going to go ahead and get Ross his Dragon Axe. I don't think he'll need the Sword Reaver so much. So we'll grab the Dragon Axe out of there. That'll be for Walter. Thankfully, Ross is pretty high level too. I think he can... Yeah, he can actually go toe-to-toe against Walter and not get doubled. Yeah, actually, he'll get weighed down by 1 because of the Dragon Axe. Oh, that does put him in double range. Yikes, we might need to get him 1 more point of speed here. That's unfortunate. And Walter's not weighed down by anything. No, he's not. Huh. Well, that could be a problem. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. I'm not entirely certain just yet, but let's get Ross down there, actually. Maybe I can get him a level up before we encounter Walter. Walter is going to be messy, and that's largely because he's very well stat distributed. Very optimally distributed stat-wise. He has bad luck, but who cares? That's not even an important stat. Luck, it's not that luck is unimportant, it's just, in my opinion, one of the lowest priorities for stats. I mean, it does give you it gives you 1 point of avoid per point of luck, and I think 1 point of hit. And it also is how you deflect critical hits. Or every luck negates 1 point of crit percentage on your opponent. So, again, it has its uses, but they add up if you have a lot of it. But if you don't have a lot, it's also not that big of a detriment. This is pretty funny when you're double hitting Myrmidons as a giant beatstick mercenary. Theoretically, he's weighed down by his steel sword, but it's still funny to me. Josh, we're going to continue to murder all these axe-wielding guys, because that's what he does. Now, he's got a couple of mages up there, Mr. Kalik does, so I'm wondering if those are going to be an issue or not. I don't think so. Neither of the bosses move, by the way. Kalik and Walter will stay right where they are the entire time. Wow, he hit me on 5%. That is some bull hockey there. Okay, anyway, let's see how this goes. Yeah, because of the massive nerf to Luna's hit rate, it's not anywhere near as threatening as it used to be. Okay, I guess this is going to be a thing now. We're going to need to bring La Rochelle in to do some healing. Kind of strange that Pegasus went for Tana and not for Rennick, but what the heck do I know? That'll be a level for her. I think that puts her to 18. Hey, look at that. Defense, resistance, luck, not bad. And some skill. Not that she needs it, but I'm not going to complain about it either. That's a lot of Pegasus Knights. Alright, well, why don't we get Rennick moved away here. I'll see if I can have Naomi deal with this particular little dude here. By dude, I of course mean dudette. Up until Fates, every Pegasus Knight is female, and then they decided to break that mold with Tsubaki. As for why, I couldn't tell you, but that guy's got a Thunder Tome as well. We're just going to park Joshua here so I can get him healed up. Give him his Iron Sword. La Rochelle's going to get hit by that Pegasus, probably. She won't be getting doubled. A Steel Lance, yikes. That's 18 damage. She'll take 11 from that. That's half her health. And that mage will do 2 to her. Why don't we bail her out with Franz, actually? We'll give him his lance and rescue him and bail. That mage can't quite reach him, which is good. The Pegasus might still go for him. That's fine. Alright, we'll have Ephraim dispatch this here brigand. We can probably do it with the Steel Lance. So let's make that happen. Now I have my little reinforcement force down there with Ephraim and Dusil and Null, but I'm going to try to avoid using them. Dusil especially does not need the experience. He's level 10 promoted already, and I'm not going to be using Null Although I might let him soften up this Dark Mage just for the sake of it. Yeah, let's let him get one kill, I guess. And then Juslo can grab the village so that nobody else goes after it. He got a free Lunatome. Cool, that's awesome. Well, we get a Master Seal. So the Master Seal is a universal promotion item in this game. It promotes any class, with the exception of Ephraim and Erica. I don't know if it promotes Thieves and Pirates. They both use the Ocean Seal in this game, so I'm not entirely certain if they work on them or not. Oh, geez, this could be sketch. If they both hit her, she's going to be in a bad way. Why don't we let Tana use a Vulnerary then? If they're both going to ignore Rennick, then they should both go for her, so... That one's going to go for Nami. In fact, these guys might both go for Nami, because since she's got no melee option. Although that one only can throw something at her, and she'll retaliate and probably kill them in the process. Alright, let's get Ross moved down here into this sea of Cavaliers. We want to be careful, though. We don't want to draw out any untoward bad guys. This Shaman's going to keep trying to come at me, probably. He hit... I still can't believe he hit Cormac with a freaking Eclipse Tome. We're going to have Garrick come and support Ross, I suppose. I don't want him getting wailed on by all these Cavaliers, but at the same time, I need someone to back him up in case bad things happen. So we'll park Cormac right here. I will heal him up, just in case those Wyverns come a-calling. And we don't need Erica up here anymore. We'll pull her back a little bit, just because I don't want her in the way. And we'll leave Tethys on this fortress for the time being, so she's out of the way. Oh yeah, we have loot. I forgot about her. Let's send her this way. Be cool if she picked up an item while she's walking, but I sincerely doubt it. I think if you're not a thief or a rogue, you have a percentage equal to your luck stat to find things in the sand, and even with max luck, it's not spectacular, so it's probably going to be a lot of reliance on Rennick here to find stuff in the sand. These guys are going to hurt her quite a bit, but she's not going to die in the process, and those guys are too slow with steel lances to double, so Ross should make mincemeat of most of these Cavaliers. And if we can make him a Berserker, that would be amazing. Then we can just kind of like one-round vault her. Probably one-shot him, actually. Ross is a Berserker with max strength and a Dragon Axe. Probably going to lay down some serious hurt. Alright, he's getting there. Like I said, most of these guys should go for him. I'm counting on it at any rate. Now that we're going to start fighting some more promoted enemies after this map, that'll be nice, because that'll help level our guys up that much faster. I'm hoping by the end of the next chapter we'll have most of our team promoted. We need to work on Erica a little more, unfortunately. She's not going to be getting a whole lot of effort or a lot of use this chapter, simply because there's not a lot of great places to use her. And it's hard for her to get around with the sand, so come on with all these pathetic low hit rate hits. Starting to get annoying. Alright, that guy's going to get shredded by the longbow. Nami, however, is going to need a heal here. One way or another. Of course, we got the obligatory Ranger. Okie doke. Of course, everybody's got ranged weapons now, which Ross is not thrilled about. He does have a hand axe. I could let him use that. That's a sleep staff. So help me God if he hits me with that. Okay, good. That paladin didn't move. That's a little strange. Alright, well, let's see what we can do here. So, Nami is in a bad way. We need to get her out of there. I didn't realize there was going to be this many reinforcements. So we're just going to pull her back here. And I will let her shoot at people on the way back, I guess. Seems to be the best course of action for the time being. And this one can't reach her now, so I can block with Erica. Sort of. Not really, in fact. 18 damage. Yikes. Okay, that's bad. That's gonna kill her unless I do something about it. We're gonna drop La Rochelle here while I have Franz go rescue Namie instead. I'm just gonna have Erica sit on the top of the castle here. She can't really get hit there, at least not very well. And we're just gonna have Tana continue her little spree against these Pegasus Knights. Really should have equipped something other than that steel sword on Franz, I think, especially because he's going up against lance units. I didn't think of that. We're going to have Rennick keep making his way down this direction. He's closing in on another item to pick up, so... Alright, I think it's time to send... Well, no, not quite yet. Why don't we deal with these horsemen? These rangers, I should say. Apparently he is not fast enough to deal with them. Nope, unfortunately he is not. So why don't we send... Oh, geez, that's not going to work either. Again, I need to be careful of that stupid berserker. Nope, that's going to get him killed. I'm just going to start whipping hand axes at people, I think. That seems like the best course of action here. That will let me take out this guy at any rate. I can probably get Garrick down there if I dance. Problem is I don't want to let Garrick steal all the experience points. I really want to get Ross to a Berserker so we can deal with Valter. How far can Tethys move? 2, so I can only move Garrick here. And then dance. Thankfully those bowmen are not going to be able to get anywhere near her because of the sand. There we go. I can send Garrick down this way and he can deal with at least one of these chumps. Alright, that takes care of him. That's promoted experience. Huzzah! Level 18 Garrick. Wow, alright. Strength, skill, speed. Good, good. I was hoping I'd be fast enough to take care of this guy, but I don't want to be in range of this stupid Berserker. Oh, Garrick already is. Well, you know what? If anybody can handle a Devil Axe from a Berserker, it's probably going to be him. Still not a great plan, but... the best one I got right now, unfortunately. Cormac's going to have to go over here to avoid getting arrowed in the face. Might as well heal him up a little bit more. Alright, and then I got to deal with these Pegasi. If that mage hits me again, I'm going to be really, really salty. By all accounts, he should not be able to hit me like that again, but... I've seen weirder things happen, so who knows at this point. We're going to get Dusel moved up here. We're going to have Ephraim around to deal with Kalik just because it's going to be a fun time otherwise. Actually, Kalik only uses axes, doesn't he? That's a stupid idea. That's what it is. Let's see how Franz handles this. He's probably going to get doubled by these guys. Actually, no, he doubles them. That's pretty sad. How much does that steel lance weigh you down, lady? Apparently an awful lot. Even carrying Namie on his back, he's still double... Oh my god, come on, Franz. No, that's not good. Oh, thankfully she dodged it. That's better. Tethys, thankfully, is also capable of dodging things. And now Garrick is engaging with Wyverns. Perfect, just what I wanted. Completely unnecessary critical hit from him. It's not important. I was hoping to leave those for Ross, but what are you going to do? Actually, that'll slow him down because he didn't kill that one. That'll hopefully stymie the flow of enemies into coming in there to get killed on him. There we go. Yes, break yourselves against my pirate. I much would rather do that. Again, another unnecessary critical hit. He is level 19. One more and we will have Berserker Ross. And then all bets are off. Only HP. Well, I guess at this point, what can you expect? He needs one more point of speed to avoid getting doubled by Vaulter, so... that is really what I'm looking for. It's really difficult to be in a position to double Vaulter. You'd need a ton of speed to do that. In fact, you need 21, which you can't get to as an unpromoted class. You need to be promoted to double Vaulter, which makes sense because he himself is promoted. Thankfully, Joshua learned how to dodge again. And Tana is going to keep mopping up these dudes. I keep saying dudes. They are female. I call everybody dude, regardless of gender. I call my girlfriend dude sometimes. She thinks it's a little weird. But you know what? It's a term of endearment. It means I like people. So, which is interesting considering there's very few people I like in this world. Alright, Garrick getting a javelin thrown at him, but he's dodgy. I don't know if that Berserker's going to come for him or not. Oh yeah, I forgot they have a healer on the field. Actually, they have that stupid sleep staff troubadour still. So help me, Ross. If you get put to sleep, I'm going to be really, really salty. Alright, so far so good. She's only got one use of that left, so... no, the Berserker does not seem to have moved. I'm not sure if that's by design or if he's just not meant to. But let's take out this here Cavalier with loot. Thankfully, we have a lot of enemies. I know it sounds like a weird thing to be thankful for, a lot of enemies pouring out of places, but being able to farm a lot of experience on this level is very nice. And I'm not going to complain about that. So, why don't we have Ross take out this horseman. Oh, he can't. He's not strong enough, can he? And if I have Cormac help... we need to get Garrick a quick heal out of there, so... now this might level up Ross. Not sure, but we'll find out. Killing another promoted unit, that would be ideal. Oh! Oh, there, I had a bad word I almost said. Anyway. We're going to park Garrick on... you know, I thought about parking him on that tree, but you know what? It's better if I just go kill that stupid troubadour instead. I really don't want her putting anybody to sleep. So let's take her down. Seems like a big jerk move of me, but always attack the healer first, ladies and gentlemen. That is RPG 101. Don't really need that Mend Staff. I probably could be letting him use that Zanbato against the Cavaliers and stuff. Alright, well now that there are no Rangers, we can send Cormag in. I'll let him deal with this guy right here. He's actually about to break his Iron Lance too. I had not considered that. That's okay. One thing at a time, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, now we can move Rennet closer to another one of these items that I need. I don't really need it per se. In fact, it's not even that good of an item, but I just want to have it. So we're going to put him right here. And we get Metis' Tome. What the heck is that? This is the exact same thing. It gives a little treat to the unit that uses it. This is exactly the same thing as the Aphis drops from Blazing Sword. It increases a unit's growth rates by 5% across the board. Allegedly, it gives them more experience gain too, but I have yet to see any evidence of that, so I don't know that that's actually the case. In fact, it would make a lot more sense if it didn't, because it's so... even if it did, it's so not noticeable that what's the point? Alright, we're going to use Tana to ferry Rennick around now. Now that the massive threat from people is gone. I'm going to leave her right where she is so she doesn't get shot at. Alright, we're going to bring Naomi over here so she can get healed. And we'll have Joshua dispatch... who's more dangerous at this point? Probably the Pegasus Knight, right? Yeah, let's take care of her. Can Erica do that? That would be nice, because then I won't have to rely on using... yeah, she totally can. I have a Lance Reaver on her. And I can use Joshua to kill that mage who's been bugging me this past couple of turns. Alright. She's level 14. That's not terrible, but it's not anywhere near where I'd like her to be right now. Ephraim needs some levels up too. Both of them are due to story promote very soon. And I'd like to get the most I can out of them, simply because they're really important to have later on in the game. So that being said, we're going to work on reuniting Erica and Ephraim in the next episode. This is we're calling right here at the 45-minute mark. I think I can finish it up next time. So that being said, thank you very much for joining me to this point. I really do appreciate it. And we'll finish up Chapter 15 in the next episode. So until that time, thank you very much for watching. This has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.